Most men think speaking truth is about being liked, being followed, being seen. That's weak. Speaking truth is about being willing to carry the cost. When you see someone attacked or even killed for their words, it should not silence you. It should clarify just how rare real speech is and how valuable it becomes when the weak collapse. Listen, so we've all heard that Charlie Kirk has passed away due to assassination of speaking his truth and his ideas. And that is truly the price of speaking your truth, right? You're going to go up against people that don't agree with you. You're going to go up against people who don't like you even. Not everything that Charlie spoke about was agreed upon by myself or even the rest of the world. But guess what? Does that mean that you kill somebody for not having the same ideology as you? No, it doesn't, nor should you glorify it, right? These are the same unstructured fools that glorify someone's death for not agreeing, right? For even going against structural things that they see as peace or comfort, but we see as chaos, right? If Charlie has a wife and 2 beautiful children, that means he's structured, right? You have a wife and a family, you provide, and you can speak your ideologies and your truths proudly and stand on them profoundly against people who are pretty much walking zombies, right? And even so, even if you aren't a walking zombie and you disagreed, I bet you don't agree with his death. We're in an interesting space, right? Most men avoid it because the truth cut ties, right? It draws a line in the sand where you have to choose a side to either expand by hearing something that you don't necessarily agree with, or avoiding it altogether because it cuts through the bullshit that you claim as true. And it's the very thing that we speak about all the time, where weak men create a structure upon chaos, dopamine, and destructive loops that they can't see themselves outside of. And therefore, anybody who speaks against that very chaos or that very destructive way of living that they deem as safe because their identity lies in it is now someone who needs to be taken out, right? So everybody that I see cheering, it just shows to how unstructured and how chaotic your life is, right? And if you are one of those people who are watching this video who did cheer for his death, I wish the worst for you, right? You continue and live your life in this destruction or this destructive way, and then you wonder why society's so backwards. But you don't want the order that comes with having a structured life, right? And so I think this is far beyond just being broke, but this is just spiritually weak, right? You have no depth to your soul, and you have no bounds to which you will go to make others try to agree with you, right? And that's kind of the cost of telling the truth, right? You're going to go up against people who actually don't have any bounds to the limits that they'll go against you, right? At least structured men to a degree have honor, right? And I kind of say this to my students all the time, where if you're a structured masculine man and you come up against another structured masculine man, there's a sense of understanding, right? Because you have to initiate, you have to have gone through something to be a man of structure, right? There's an initiation. You have to get rid of this destructive way or this chaotic way of thinking, and you have to claim your new identity. And so when 2 structured men see each other, they kind of have that mutual respect for each other, knowing that you had to go through some shit to be where you are today. And so even to the structured men that do speak, because there are a lot of content creators that speak from a place of truth and they want to express their ideologies. You're in one of the countries that allow you to. It's your First Amendment right. You can speak as you please, right? So whether people like it or not, it is the price of war when you enter a space like this. Right. And I know all of the people that use their platform to speak their truth and their ideologies felt that today. And even just people who don't even use content or make content probably felt it as well. It was pretty gruesome to watch what happened to Charlie, which is just so unfortunate. Right. That's tough. But in this time, you have to understand that stillness, getting your nervous system back to neutral, is one of the most important, because you probably as a content creator understand that your truth and your ideologies may push up and brush up against people that don't necessarily agree with you. So then you can also then feel threatened to a degree. Your nervous system may feel threatened because you know that this is the cost of speaking that truth, especially on a platform where everyone won't agree with you. And I think we can all come to agreement that cowards kill the man, right? But they can't kill the idea, right? You can always kill somebody, but you can't kill the impact that they left. You can't kill the ideologies that they've seeded into men that believe what they believe in. And so the violence and the censorship and the cancel culture that's going on today can never really get rid of the ideologies that's already been seeded, but it also shows how weak society has become, right? When a man can't speak his own truths openly and freely in a civil way, right? Or even things being censored on social media. It's all signs of weakness. And you have to understand that at a deep level, right? Because the system in general fears what it can't control. So when you have ideas and ideologies and your truths that you decide to speak out, there will be pushback simply because that means that you're a thinking human, right? You're autonomous, you can think and you can do as you please. And the more people that you corral to kind of do that same thing pushes you against some of these chaotic loops, these chaotic agendas, these destructive way of life, so to say. And for a side or for a group of people that may want society to go in a specific direction, they really can't control the thinking mind. So it's not really a good thing. So what do they have to do? Silence you. But nevertheless, we cannot sit in a space of backing down. We can't sit in a space of silence. We can't sit in a space of cowardice, right? You have to continue to speak your ideas. You have to continue to let out your free speech, right? The only way forward is to have collaborative conversations about tough topics. That's it. That's how we move forward together. The second you try to silence that piece is when there's forms of control trying to be instilled, right? Because there's fear there that these uncontrolled conversations or these uncontrollable ideas or minds will be able to collapse a specific agenda that may be going against having a freedom-based way of life, right? And so we can't run into distraction when our hearts are heavy. We can't run into silence when things get kind of murky in the water, right? It is honestly the time to kind of double down on the truths and the ideologies and just having those debates that we all know so well, right? This is truly, times like this is where the men will be separated, right? Men who are cowards will continue to hide behind screens, and those who are ignited by truth and ideas will continue to speak in doubling down, right? Because again, we as true speakers, as people who have ideologies that need to get across, right? If you are someone in that caliber and that continues to want to speak, you already know that you've waged war against those who go against certain truths and certain beliefs and certain standards. So if you're a structured man still speaking the truth, I implore you to continue. It's unfortunate what happened to one of the better debaters and speakers of our time, but it's kind of the cost of it, right? And so now is the time to not back down from any of the fear or the heavy hearts, but to continue moving forward as we all should and continue to. And so your closing decree: if men can be shot for speaking truth, then silence is suicide. Speak anyway. Build the structure that makes your voice impossible to kill. Consider yourself warned.